Now, this is Jarbon from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, we're here at Occupy Wall Street. Now, I'm talking to some of the folks out here about their quest for world domination with their quest against Wall Street and those evil investors and bankers throughout the galaxy. So, sir, you're going to have to be a little loud because there's so many people here in support of them. Now, what do you have to say to the beings throughout the galaxy about your cause?
Well, we're standing here in Occupy LA in solidarity with Occupy Wall Street because of the huge inequity in the system of exploitation that has been erected by these intergalactic predatory lenders that you speak of. And the solution is just to build up a popular movement, and that's why we're here today. We're going to stay here as long as it takes.
Now, what makes you think that you can fight off these predatory investors and intergalactic bankers with all their advanced weaponries and superior powers that they have?
Well, you see, what I believe is that we have the power of the people. If we create a popular movement, the people power is always going to be the thing that can trump all of these different factions that have amassed their concentration of wealth, and they might have all the capital, but they need the people to make it work. So if we have all the people together, then we can have some leverage. You know, we are in a position to make some demands once we get together all of the people. So if you have a little movement, you can make little demands, but if you have a big movement, you can make big demands.
Now, one of the criticisms that beings and people in the 1% have against you is that you're not very well organized. Now, what are you doing to actually make your demands heard and actually become more organized?
Well, we're at this phase where we're just building up the movement right now, and within our particular encampment, I'm actually impressed with the level of cohesion that it maintains. Even though it looks very chaotic, it's actually humming along and continuing to function regularly on a day-to-day basis. So I'm not too concerned about the perception of being disorganized, because there is this kind of, the young people are starting to come together and they're starting to organize, and this is going to be the beginning of that platform.
Now, one of the big issues that my show normally talks about is unemployment, and young people have some of the highest unemployments throughout the galaxy. And when a lot of young people are unemployed, that tends to create greater violence and a greater propensity to war throughout the galaxy. Now, what are you doing to help young people and also people of all ages with their unemployment situation?
Well, in the larger sense, we're fighting for more equality of the income, and but in a more distributed sort of local sense, this is occupational therapy for the world, and you can come here and learn that you have talents you didn't even know you had, and you can help us build this movement and lay down the infrastructure. So if you're putting together a mass popular movement, there's going to be a lot of need for a lot of work. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people to discover their latent talents and really find a role to play in this whole movement. So I think that's a good thing. What will come out of this is a lot of people will have new skills. We'll be able to use those and marshal those talents together into something that can actually put people back to work,
Now, one criticism they say is that one criticism that they say they have is that you're actually creating a welfare state, and that you guys are just a bunch of lazy individuals that are not actually ambitious and not trying to get a job. What do you have to say to those people that say that all you're really after is a welfare state where you take from the rich and the successful people that have worked hard all their lives, and you're looking to give it to the poor and lazy people that really contribute nothing to society? What do you have to say to those people?
Well, I would say that if we all really need to figure this out. This is a big problem. We need to stand together and come up with solutions, because I can agree with the argument that, some people say we should just tax the rich more. Well, if we do that, we're just giving more money to a government that isn't doing what we want it to do. I mean, I'm not against the idea of a smaller state necessarily. What I'm against is what the state does with the money. You know, I don't think we should be spending all this money to go around blowing people up around the world, you know. So what we need to do is come up with a larger fix for just the whole system in general. It's like and what I would like to see out of this is that the people who do come to these movements, they get inspired, they get activated, and learn how to take care of themselves, take personal responsibility, because that's what freedom is about. Freedom is about being responsible. It's not about doing nothing. It's not about relying on somebody else to do it for you. And that's kind of how we got into this mess, is because we allowed this class of people to govern us and take away all of the power from the people. So the people need to step up and realize they are responsible for their own personal power.
Okay, now, real quick, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the beings throughout the galaxy about this or any other subject?
We stand with Occupy Wall Street against corporate greed, and the solution is to occupy in your neighborhood and come together, form a People's Congress, figure out what you want to happen, and work together.
Okay, so in closing, this is Jarbon from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you.
You guys are amazing. I really want you guys to